Good afternoon, Mr. Twilley, please. My name's John. Do you mind if I use your first name?
I'm Barry.
Nice to meet you, Barry.
When you arrive at the Part 3 examination, you will need to have L plates fitted to your vehicle and also make sure that your car is insured for the test, because the examiner will be driving it on this occasion. If it isn't insured for the examiner to drive, then the test will not go ahead and your fee will be forfeited.
Let me tell you a little bit about the test. As you know, this is a test of your ability as an instructor this afternoon. What I want you to do is just regard me as your pupil and instruct me just the way you would do normally, no differently.
The exam is split into 2 phases. The first phase will either be at the beginner stage or at the partly trained stage, and therefore it's important that you listen closely to the examiner, as he will set the scene, assign the level, and describe the subject matter that he will be expecting you to teach.
So, we're going to do our practice in here for our turn in the road.
OK.
You need to observe the pupil throughout the phase and identify any faults that occur at the earliest opportunity, so that you are in a position to offer a suitable remedy. Analysis as to why the fault occurred should be given to the pupil as soon as possible.
What we're doing, John, before we move off from this section, you're getting better with the steering. You're shuffling the steering a little bit. Yeah, so if we use bigger movements on the steering, you'll get more steering for less money, if you know what I mean.
If you are identifying these areas and providing the necessary remedy and the necessary analysis when appropriate, there's no reason why you shouldn't be successful.
OK, Barry, thank you very much. If you'd just like to relax for a few moments.
After about 28 to 30 minutes, the exam...
That's the end of the first phase. Now, I need to make a few markings, and whilst I'm doing that, what I'd like you to do is think about what we're going to be doing in the second phase.
All right, yeah.
Now, in the second phase, I will be at the trained stage.
Right.
And we'll be...
He will also prepare you for the second phase, which will either be a pupil at the trained stage or full licence holder stage.
OK then, Barry, moving on to the second phase of the examination. Again, I'd like you to imagine that I'm a completely new pupil to you that we've never met, OK? And I was told that you would give me some instruction on how to make left and right turns from a major road into a side road, assuming that this time I am at the trained stage. It is extremely important that you pay particular attention to everything that the examiner is saying to you, because he will set the scene, he will paint a picture of the level, he will tell you the subject matter that he or she will be expecting you to teach, and that is extremely important. OK, now to make it as realistic as possible, my name will be Dave.
OK.
But don't focus too much on the names, because...
Doesn't matter if I get it wrong then?
No.
OK, that's important.
OK, so my name's Dave, and I'm now your pupil.
OK, Dave. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
I'm Barry.
Hiya, Barry. Now, I know you will know that he or she is the examiner, but what you do need to do is to try and detach yourself from that and treat them as a real pupil. OK, when you're ready, we're going to drive on when you're ready.
The key reasons why you could fail a Part 3 examination is because of non-compliance with the core competencies. The identification in particular is extremely important, as you need to identify the fault at the earliest opportunity to enable you to pitch your level of instruction appropriately and provide the necessary remedy to that fault.
Okay, a little bit late with the signal there. Yeah, don't always have to signal off a mini roundabout.
After you've provided the remedy, at the earliest opportunity, you need to explain why that fault occurred.
Which lane are you going to approach in here? Which side of the road?
I'm going to keep to the left. Well done.
If you ask a question, analyse the content of the answer that you've received and ask yourself several questions. Is the answer correct? Has he answered the question that you've asked? And do you need to offer any instruction related to the answer that's been given? Because that is also your role as an instructor.
Okay, well done. Well done. I like the way you held back to see what that white car was doing. You're doing quite well at junctions, aren't you?
But I feel more confident now. I'm getting the practice in.
Yeah, well done.
A particular area of weakness during a Part 3 tends to revolve around pitching the level of instruction appropriately. Candidates either over-instruct or under-instruct. Procedurally, a pupil needs to be applying the mirror, signal, position, speed, look routine, and that's what you'll be instructing. A typical example is where a pupil selects a wrong gear on the approach to a left turn, which could result in loss of control. Another example is where a candidate is approaching a right turn and applies the MSPSL routine, but in doing so, the signal cancels before they make the turn, resulting in possible inconvenience to other road users.
At the end of the test, the examiner will tell you that the test has ended. At this point, they will need to return to the test centre to complete the necessary paperwork and, most importantly, to complete the assessment. OK then, Barry, sorry to keep you waiting. I've completed...
After about 10 minutes, they will return, at which point you may wish to consider inviting your trainer to listen in to any debrief that's given.
OK, now, unfortunately, you haven't been successful. But what I would like to say is that it all isn't bad, but it's excellent that you've got your trainer along with you this morning, because he will now be in a position to help you once I've given you the debrief.
If you this examination, there's no reason why you shouldn't be successful.